This is Bo at Elmdale Estate. So some of you may already know we did a flower garden this year. Very happy with the way it turned out. We put in 4 rows this year using some wildflower seed mix that we got from Lowe's, Walmart, and then a blend of our own that we came up with. We've never done wildflowers before, so this was the first attempt. Very excited with the way it turned out. Of course, there's always going to be something we could do better next year, so we are taking notes. We'll probably expand this and do this in a couple of locations on the property next year. I mean, looking at what we've got a lot of zinnias, we've got a lot of cosmos, a lot of sunflowers. Bachelor buttons were pretty heavy earlier in the season, and we've got a lot of Rudbeckia coming up. One of the things to keep in mind with this kind of setup too is we really didn't pamper these at all. We kind of let them just grow on their own. Most of the annuals did very well, just popped up pretty regularly without any kind of trouble, any kind of support, any kind of additional watering. We did a little fertilizing. That really was about it. Most of these annuals should self-seed. So the annuals and with the cosmos, the bachelor buttons, we should see them come back pretty easily, including the sunflowers. The things like the Rudbeckia and some of the biannuals that are in the mix as well, perennials, really hoping to see those come back every year. So we've got Shasta daisies, the Rudbeckia, delphinium. There's quite a few within the mix that we think we'll also see next year. As I mentioned, one of the things we're definitely keeping in mind is, what worked, what didn't work, what can we do differently. We've got plenty of other locations on the property where we could go ahead and build another one of these. So we are kind of scouting out locations right now for next year and hoping to kind of, bring on even some more flowers and stuff that we weren't able to do this year. So one of the things we definitely want to commit to next year is a couple of rows of perennials. So hydrangeas, peonies, dahlias. Really think that's going to be something spectacular, especially since they'll come back year over year as long as we maintain them. These very large cosmo plants that have come up that have not, most of them have not put off yet, but they're substantial. For most of the season, as these were growing, I honestly did not even believe they were cosmos, even though they had the same leaf structure. I was hesitant to believe that they were cosmos, just because they were taking so long to start blooming. So one of the things you'll notice too is like the mix over there of zinnias ended up being a really good mix. Those are all, that is a mix we got from Walmart. It was, how to say, it's probably, I'm most impressed with that mix. It ended up being one of the better ones we've got. These two blends right here, these 2 rows, you'll see are a lot of similarities between the mixes. There's not a lot of variation. Both of these came from Lowe's. And even though the packs actually had different names, from what we can tell, they were pretty much the same mix. So it's just one of those situations where they've got a mix they're really happy with, and instead of giving you very different options, they're just kind of trying to inspire you by giving different names to the mixes, but in the end it's still basically the same thing. Yeah, this was the mix we did ourselves. Mostly you can see a lot of zinnias, a lot of sunflowers, which were not in the other mix. Really wanted some sunflowers to bring into the house, and not just kind of generic sunflowers, which we did do that as well, but really more specifically cut flowers, ones that would do well inside in a vase. So been very happy with those. You'll see kind of in the middle of all these two, just within the mix, are a bunch of larger zinnias, which have gotten bigger throughout the season. Some of these are so big. Just looking at this one zinnia right here, looking at this one zinnia right here, it's massive. It's just huge. So I'd say we were very happy with the alternative options we got by having this mix that we did ourselves. So definitely would highly recommend too that if you're not feeling like the mixes you're finding, if you've tried them out and they don't seem to be the right mixture of plants and flowers that you're wanting yourself, then you can always easily make your own. We probably would have seen similar results with this mix and the mix that we got from Walmart, if we had just changed up the mix a little bit, did fewer sunflowers and did more of the standard zinnias. So again, just crazy to see how big these flowers really are getting. Again, keep in mind too, we've not really maintained this as best we probably could. Of course, like I said earlier, we weren't watering any of this, just putting a little bit of fertilizer on it semi-regularly. So like I was saying, we're very happy with this mix from Walmart. It did cost a little more than the mix we got from Lowe's. One of the other benefits of this mix seemed to be that it had, one of the other benefits of this mix we noticed was that it was supposed to have fertilizers mixed into it as well. But since we're fertilizing ourselves, it really wasn't too big a deal. So you can see here, I mean, a really good mix of colors. Of course, I'd say we got more pinks than anything, so most of the displays that I've been putting around the house and taking to work have been in the pink range, pink corals, reds, fuchsias. But overall, very happy with this mix. Still quite a few Cosmo plants that we expect to come up toward the end of the season. I'm very happy with this mix. We are starting to see a little bit of powdery mildew. Not something to be too worried about. I mean, the plants are going to inherently get that when they're too crowded. The only other option is to pull some extra plants out, but again, since this is the first year we've really kind of taken on the challenge of doing something like this, we wanted to see how well it would hold up without much intervention. I'd say by far the thing that I think we're most impressed with, having done this now, is just how well zinnias and cosmos seem to do. So even if that's all you grew, I still think you can really enjoy having put something like this in your own backyard. Overall, definitely been something we enjoyed doing. It was really easy to set up. What I would recommend for most people who want to do something like this is just make sure you've got good soil, good drainage, good sun. We lucked out. This patch right here that you can see behind me ends up being kind of on a slope, and so when we did get any rain, the water would help kind of collect and wash down, keep everything pretty moist. So even though we've had a couple of weeks here and there where there's been light amount of rain, everything's done really well. Hey, this is Bo. Thank you for watching this video. Please let us know if you have any ideas for other videos, and thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.